Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. We've got a bit of a treat for you now because we've got a couple of videos which I think some people will be very proud of. AMX 13105 AM, it's a tier 5 French SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Redshire Encounter and it's under the command of ReciprocityTM. Right, battle started. Well, you can see he's got 2 marks of excellence already on the barrel. And he's very close to getting his 3rd. You can see he's actually got those marks on the back of his vehicle showing that he is actually quite accomplished. He's had ace tankers in this vehicle quite a few times. It's a 105mm Arty, capable of doing 445 alpha, penetrating 13mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of just under 2 meters. He fires his first shot as a blind shot at the bush. There's normally somebody there. It was a fairly good bet that there might be somebody there, but on this occasion there wasn't. And if there was somebody there, they might have been splashed. Well, we don't know. But we're looking for other targets, and there's a couple of tanks making their way across towards the castle. But via a circuitous route, they're actually going via the village and the trees. He fires that one in at the VK3001P, now a heavy tank, not a medium. He can see some destruction, some trees going down, so he knows these guys are moving. So fairly quick reload on this Arty. Just under 10 seconds. Nice hit on the M4A1. Now this Arty is fairly difficult to actually get decent shots in because it's, well, you need to get a really good crew before it will dial in so accurately, and of course it's got a fairly quick reload, but at this tier tanks tend to move quite quickly, and therefore if you do adjust your aim it can ruin the aiming, and or if you adjust where you're firing at, it can ruin the aiming because you'll have to dial in again, and that means you can be very slow at getting shots out onto target. But you can see Reciprocity's actually got a fairly good crew because these shots are hitting the target, except of course those guys in the castle have now gone unspotted, so he's having to look for targets elsewhere. Going for a Hetzer. Pulls back. They are moving quite quickly. This is a tier 6 game with tier 4 tanks in it. Now the tier 4 targets, you'd think they would be much easier to hit. He fires around at the Cavalier, who doesn't move, and takes a round for 207, leaves him on just 2 hit points, so somebody can easily take that guy out the game. But he's now looking at the Hetzer, so he fires behind him, expecting him to pull back, and he did. But not enough. In fact, actually, now he's turned and he's going to go around the corner and try and shoot our KV-1 in the side. Okay, Reciprocity fires around in. Gets a splash. That was a splash hit for 46. He was close enough to the shell to actually do some damage. Lining up another shot. Working out where the Hetzer's going. It falls short this time. Well short. You do get that occasionally. Really bad RNG. I mean, a lot of players have noticed this recently. Poor RNG. Oh, that was a good RNG, that one, because the Largo was taken out by that shot. He only had 34 hit points left, but he actually moved into the aiming point. And a Valentine AT who's staying still so he can dial in on target. But of course, he's got very light armor. Although he's got a Valentine tank hull, he's got that gun shield, which is, well, very weak indeed. In fact, he was easily able to penetrate it the first time, but somebody else got to the Valentine before he did, so he's missed out on the kill there. But the Hetzer rounds out. Oh, that one fell short. So again, bad RNG. He's lining it up for the next one. This is why it's so important to actually watch what happens to the shell. Oh, kill shot. Got him this time. He adjusted his aim accordingly. If he'd actually pulled back and not looked from a distance, he wouldn't have been able to see that his first shot did fall short, and it just needed a precise rearrangement of the aim to actually get the kill shot. VK3001P over in the castle, poking out through one of the gates. Rounds out, looks good. goes long, very long, almost outside the reticule, you might say. But there's an M8A1, which is, of course, a Tier 4 American tank destroyer. Fires one quick snap in, and no, doesn't get it. But the M10 RBFM, who's 100% health, is sitting up on that ridgeline. He's coming in now on the KV1, intent on getting the kill. He does kill the KV1, but he's now tracked himself because he rammed him. And, well, Reciprocity's about to shoot. Rounds out. He got him. Direct hit. I think that shell, considering the health of that M10, must have landed directly on the cockpit and killed all the crew. He fires a snap at the Bishop. It's fairly accurate, 121. He was lucky on that one. I think he's tracked the guy because he's not moving, and I think the tracks look disabled. He fires his second shot in, and this time round he gets the kill. So 4 kills now for Reciprocity. He really is getting good with this Arty. I mean, super good. He's not just won the Ace Tanker once, he's done it multiple times. And despite the fact that somebody's capping, we're still carrying on. We're 2 tanks down on the enemy. But Reciprocity could change that in a second if he could take out that box tank, who's holding on against an Su-100, the Pistat Simu. Ooh, that was close. Over on the west side of the battlefield, we've got an M4A1. Now, I don't know who's spotting that guy. I've no idea because there's nobody over there. But he does get a hit into that guy, and unfortunately, now he's gone unsighted. So there's only 2 left on their team. I think that M4A1 was being spotted by the tank he killed. And that one went very long, way outside the reticule. We could really do with a mod that would actually tell us how far and how many shells actually land outside the aim point of the reticule point. We have offered to pay for a mod maker to actually create such a mod, which would actually take the exact spot that we aimed at and then the exact spot where the shell landed and create oh, now that was unfortunate. Yes, the M4A1 finally got revenge. And ReciprocityTM is now out the game, and it's just the Su-100, and he's going very defensive now. He's decided, well, no, it is Kolobanov time because it's 5 against 1. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it. Yes, we have offered to create a mod which would actually help people to determine if the shells are falling outside the reticule, and in fact we've offered to pay for it to create it. How many shells are actually falling from the aim point outside the reticule, and how many are falling within, and actually measuring the distance between each shot. Okay, unfortunately the VK, in fact it wasn't the VK who got him, it was the M4A1, so he couldn't see that guy. He must have driven all the way from the south and came up. But this is the end of the game, and let's have a look at the end of battle stats and see how well Reciprocity actually did in this game. Well, the surprise is that he did actually, whoop, that's the wrong screen, that's the right screen. He did actually get a 3rd mark of excellence in the AMX 13105AM mle.50. He actually got a 3rd class tanker from that game, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 10 in total, and he got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, he got 4 exactly. But he did get enough damage from this battle to complete his average up to 95%, and that earned him his 3rd mark of excellence on the barrel. If we look at the team scores, we can see that when it came to damage, he was right at the top of his table on his team. 1,316 hit points of damage, but the high score in the game was the box tank with 2,176, and after that it was the Jagdpanzer with 1,459. So he was 3rd on damage overall, but top on damage on his team. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of kills with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the M4 Sherman, 2 kills to the VK3001P, the box tank, the Cavalier and the M10 RBFM, and only 1 member of his own team actually managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was the Su-100, the last man alive. And when it came to base XP, It was the enemy team did the best with 967 for the box tank, 680 for the Jagdpanzer 38T Hetzer, and 593 for the M4 Sherman, the one that killed the player that killed Reciprocity. And when it came to Reciprocity, well, he didn't get the highest base XP on his own team, mainly because he didn't actually have any stun. It was just he was having to work basically just from the damage his 105mm shell would do, and that put him at 324. And the highest scorer was the KV1, the guy in that centre of the map near the cap circle, who actually earned 397 base out of that game. Reciprocity fired 31 rounds in the game, got 7 direct hits, no penetrations, but he did get 13 splash. Damage of 1,316 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit from the M4A1, it was an HE round and it did wipe him out altogether. It penetrated the shield around the gun. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and 275 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 5 defense points when he reset the cap. On a premium count, he earned 15,243 credits, but I'm afraid due to repair ammunition, and here's the kicker, the consumables, he actually ended up with a loss, 4,766 credits from that game. But I don't think you'll mind that at all, because you'll learn that back in no time at all. And when it came to XP, he earned 324 from the battle, and 486 he took away. So, 3rd mark of excellence on his barrel, and they can't take that one away because that stays there for good. And it means now that he is getting really good with the AMX 13105 mle.50. It is actually quite an interesting Arty because a lot of people use it to get to the AMX 13F3 AM, the Tier 6 French SPG, but they don't stick around to actually practice this Arty, and it can get very accurate. As you saw here, Reciprocity was actually getting decent shots on the enemy and doing damage. Now this Arty may not have stun, but it does have the ability to hit and hit hard, and of course it does see tier 4 tanks, which means that you are going to basically harvest those guys because yes, they're not really going to be able to put up with this gun amazing reload time and accuracy if you get a good crew. So do practice it, because I think you'll find it a lot easier to get a 3rd mark from this Arty than Arties which actually have stun. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.